partners, the Philippines and Australia can continue to work together to achieve a region that is peaceful, stable, and prosperous for all. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Madam Ambassador. The European Union has been a strategic and long-time partner of the justice sector at the JSCC. The EU has consistently supported the sectoral approach to justice reform and improved justice services. To give us his message, let us welcome His Excellency Luc Veron, the Ambassador and Head of the Delegation of the European Union to the Philippines.
His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., represented this morning by the Honorable Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, the Honorable Juan Miguel Zubiri, President of the Senate, Honorable Martin Romualdez, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Alexander Gesmundo, Chief Justice, Honorable Raul Vasquez, Undersecretary of Justice, Honorable Juan Victor Llamas, Undersecretary of Interior and Local Government, is Our Excellency, my good friend HKU, Ambassador of Australia, Associate Justices, senior officials, ladies and gentlemen, friends and partners, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Since this administration under President Marcos Jr. has taken office, decongestion of the jail system has become a priority in the Philippines. The situation was very bleak, as you know better than I do. This administration has acted not only in words, although words are important, and I'm fully aware of Chapter 13.2 of the Philippine National Development Plan, but this administration has not only acted in words, but also in deeds. And thousands of PDLs have been released, and serious steps to assist vulnerable members of the population have been taken. And such progress is only possible because both the Supreme Court and the Executive see eye to eye, as we can experience today at this first ever summit on jail decongestion in this country. For the last 17 years, the European Union has been a partner of the justice system in the Philippines. We support, through our program GoJust, the work of the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, the creation of justice zones, digitalization and innovation in the justice and law enforcement systems, as well as access to justice and legal aid for vulnerable groups. In preparation for this event, EU GoJust has supported the evidence-based jail decongestion study, and the study presents data that allows for a deeper understanding of the myriad issues surrounding congestion in the jails. Education of PDLs is a path towards rehabilitation. I'm therefore proud that with our EU GoJust, we support the training of PDLs as legal researchers, which has enabled them to assist their fellow PDLs in processing their cases. We have also launched numerous grants with civil society actors to provide legal aid to PDLs, including through law schools. Finally, we have supported the digitalization of the single Carpeta system, and by next year, the project. Much more needs to be done, and this is only the beginning. What I find so encouraging is that principles of justice and law enforcement sectors in this room are pushing for change together pushing for change. And we can see results despite complexities and capacity constraints. So let me end by assuring you that the European Union is your partner in carrying these reforms forward now and for the years to come. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much po, Mr. Ambassador. And now we will proceed to the high-level messages. To deliver his welcome remarks, it is my honor to call on the JSCC Principal and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, the Honorable Alexander G. Quezmundo.
Please be seated. Executive Secretary Lucas P. Bersamin, my former Chief Justice, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri, Speaker of the House of Representatives President Martin Romualdez, fellow principals in the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla, represented by Undersecretary Raul Vasquez, and Interior and Local Government Secretary Benjamin Avalos Jr., represented by Undersecretary Juan Victor Llamas. Our international partners, including His Excellency Luc Beron, Ambassador of the European Union to the Philippines, Her Excellency HKU, Ambassador of Australia to the Philippines, Mr. Daniele Marchesi of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, and the representatives from the Justice Sector Reform Program, Governance in Justice 2, GoJust 2. To my esteemed colleagues in the Supreme Court and our fellow public servants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today is a historic day. On this day, the entire Philippine government, represented by no less than the Chief Executive of the Republic and the heads of the legislative and judicial departments, commits to an undertaking that will require whole of government to execute, and that is the decongestion of our penal facilities. The problem of jail congestion has been building up over the years. As our population increases, as more laws are passed, as the enforcement of our laws become more efficient, as prosecution results to more convictions, and as judgment are more quickly handed down, the increase in the number of prisoners is only expected. Without a corresponding expansion of our jail facilities, congestion would naturally result. 70% of detention facilities under the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology are overcrowded, at an average of congestion rate of 386%. Even worse, the occupancy rate in some of our jails has gone as high as 2,748% of their standard capacity. Just last October, in observance of the National Correction Consciousness Week, and also in line with this summit, I had the opportunity to visit the National Bilibid Prison, Medium Security Camp, and the Pasay City Jail, as well as to get a better grasp of actual conditions in detention facilities. With excessively crowded jails, PDLs live under extremely challenging conditions that hinder their reformation, but hopefully not for much longer. However, the problem is not just about the proportion of jail population and the area they occupy. There are many other factors that have contributed to the congestion rate as we are now facing. Later this morning, we will share with you these factors based on the study we conducted under the Justice Sector Coordinating Council. The JSCC is our answer to the even more persistent issue of efficient justice service delivery. The JSCC is a champion of the sector approach to public service delivery. Our decades of collective experience have demonstrated that the traditional institution-based agency approach of operating in silos has led to the fragmented and inefficient response to the justice system needs. The JSCC principals, therefore, the Chief Justice, the Secretary of Justice, and the Secretary of Interior Local Government decided that a different approach was warranted to make our services more responsive and their delivery real-time. At the summit, we will also go beyond mere talk and discussion. Right at the very start, we will already lay out the JSCC's plan of action for addressing congestion. All the enumerated activities, both short-term and long-term, will fall under our three modes of action. First is to reduce admission, second is to increase releases, and third is to expand jail facilities and capacities. We have invited both international and local experts to showcase best practices on jail decongestion that have proven to be most effective to inform our way forward. In all this, we emphasize success in decongesting our jails depends on close cooperation, coordination, and collaboration across all the 5 pillars of the criminal justice system, including law enforcement, prosecution, the courts, corrections, and the community. And for that, we hope this summit provides a strong and sustained reform. This commitment is also in line with the Supreme Court's ongoing pursuit of judicial reform under our Strategic Plan for Judicial Innovations 2022 to 2027, or the SPJI. In particular, we're looking to introduce more efficient and technologically innovative ways of case processing towards the SPJ's objective of promoting innovation by using the most appropriate, secure, and advanced technologies to enhance the efficiency of court services, reduce delays in the processing and disposition of cases, and increase collaboration across the entire justice system. The efficiency and efficacy of any criminal justice system is measured not by how many are prosecuted and incarcerated, but rather by how many are reformed and rehabilitated. The law may be harsh, but it must at all times remain humane. The law must punish, but punishment can only be humane if it is reformative. The conditions in our jails and detention facilities as they stand today are conducive to neither. Today, we make a significant step together towards correcting this, towards ensuring better jail management, the humane safekeeping of PDLs, and the speedy delivery of responsive justice, especially for those whose lives and liberty depend upon it. Before I end, I would like to thank our steering committee for their hard work in making this summit possible. Our thanks also to our development partners, particularly the Governance in Justice Program 2 of the European Union, the Australian government working through the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, as well as to the crime justice sector, as well as to the justice sector stakeholders, advocacy groups, and civil society organizations that have extended their invaluable support to the JSCC's jail congestion program. Most of all, the JSCC expresses its gratitude to His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for his invaluable. Mr. President, where you were here is an affirmation that we're on the right track and the national government has our back. To our participants present here today, whether in person or through online, I hope you make the most of the sessions we have planned for this summit, as I am confident that you will have pathways to creative, innovative, and collaborative solutions that will once and for all solve the chronic problem of congestions in our jails and detention facilities and strengthen the reformative and reintegrative aspect of our criminal justice system. Thank you, good morning, and let us get to work together. Mabuhay tayong lahat.
Maraming salamat po at mabuhay, Mr. Chief Justice. Together with the Chief Justice as head of the judiciary, being the third branch of government, the leaders of both houses of Congress have joined us this morning. The review and enhancement of existing laws, as well as the passage of new legislation together with much-needed appropriation are indispensable in our joint efforts towards jail and prison decongestion and successful reintegration of former prisoners deprived of liberty back into our society. To deliver his message, please welcome the Honorable Ferdinand Martino Romualdez, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Good morning. Please take your seats. Indeed, it is a great occasion and a great honor to be invited here today by a very good friend. I'm the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Republic of the Philippines, my very good friend, Chief Justice Alexander Gesmundo. This invitation means a lot to me because indeed we have been working in Congress with our friends also in the Senate on ways how to address this very important issue that we have today. Her Excellency, Australian Ambassador HKU, thank you so much for being a very, very important partner and a stakeholder for today's occasion. My other good friend, His Excellency European Union Ambassador Luc Veron. My seatmate this morning, representing the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency, our Executive Secretary, former Chief Justice Secretary, Lucas Bersamin. My friend, I think, has yet to come from the Senate, Senate President Miguel Subiri, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen from the judiciary and from all sectors of this most important occasion. I am deeply honored to stand before you today at the significant event, the National Jail Decongestion Summit. Our gathering here today is a testament to our collective resolve to confront and to resolve one of the most critical challenges in our justice system, that is, the pressing issue of jail congestion. In the Philippines, the congestion of our jails is not merely a logistical or infrastructural problem. It is a profound human rights issue. The overcrowded conditions in our detention facilities reflect on our own state of judicial processes and the very essence of the justice and the humanity in our society. The collaboration under the auspices of the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, which includes the Supreme Court, the Department of Justice, the Department of Interior and Local Government, is commendable. This partnership symbolizes a unified approach in dealing with the complex challenges while respecting the autonomy of each organization. As we move forward, it is crucial to recognize the dire situation of persons deprived of liberty. Many languish in overcrowded jails, not due to the severity of their crimes, but because of the prolonged processes and inadequate infrastructure. This reality calls for our immediate and decisive action. To address these challenges, the House of Representatives is ready to consider and will seriously study several key proposals that merit serious contemplation and support. And we would need our friends in the Senate for this endeavor. Number one, review of crime classification. First, we are amenable to a comprehensive review of the classification of crimes as capital and non-bailable. The revised Penal Code's classification system, almost a century old, needs an overhaul. This review will assess the deterrent effect of these classifications and consider the decriminalization of certain offenses like libel, abortion, and dueling. Our goal is to ensure that every punishments are proportionate to the gravity of the crimes thus committed. Number two, diversion of adult offenders. Building on success in diverting children in conflict with the law, we also would like to advocate for the enactment of a law that extends similar diversionary measures to adult offenders. This would involve alternatives to incarceration for minor offenses and first-time offenders, reducing unnecessary admissions into our penal facilities. Number three, Unified Penology Act and the Department of Corrections and Penology. We recognize the need for a more unified and efficient management of our prisons facilities. Therefore, we will review and examine your proposal for the creation of a unified penology system under a dedicated department. This new structure, we all hope, can lead to the streamlining of operations and brings our standards in line with our international obligations. Number 4, law on integration or reintegration and psychosocial rehabilitation. The cycle of reoffending, particularly in drug-related and property crimes, highlights the absence of effective reintegration programs. There may be a need for a new law focusing on reintegration, including psychosocial rehabilitation, which seeks to provide essential support for released offenders, aiding in their return to society and reducing recidivism. Number 5, the amendment of the Recognizant Act of 2012. We are also considering amendments to the Recognizant Act to make it more accessible and thus effective. These amendments will focus on simplifying the process for beneficiaries and expanding the pool of potential custodians. Number 6, strengthening the Commission on Human Rights. And lastly, we are also in agreement with the proposal of strengthening the Commission on Human Rights to act as the national preventive mechanism against unjust incarceration. This will involve equipping the committee or the Commission with data and analysis tools to monitor and address trends in incarceration and releases. Ladies and gentlemen, the path ahead is challenging, but our resolve is firm. These proposals represent a holistic approach to a complex problem. They reflect our commitment to a justice system that is not only efficient and equitable, but also humane and respectful of the rights and dignity of every Filipino. As we deliberate over these proposals, let us remember that at the heart of our discussions are real people, individuals whose lives and futures depend on the decisions that we make and the actions that we take. Our duty is not just to the law, but to humanity. In closing, I extend my deepest gratitude to everyone present here. Your expertise, dedication, and commitment are the driving forces behind this very critical initiative. Together, let us forge a path towards a justice system that upholds the dignity of every individual and delivers justice with both efficiency and compassion. Maraming salamat po sa iyo. Thank you so much, Mr. Chief Justice. And of course, maligayang Pasko. Merry Christmas to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, the Upper House of Congress chose to lend visible support to the JSCC today. Together with the House of Representatives, the justice sector aims to work in pursuit of our sectoral legislative agenda, most especially for jail and prison reform. To deliver his message, please welcome the Honorable Senate President, Mr. Juan Miguel Zubiri.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats, everyone. Sorry, I just came in just in time. We had a breakfast meeting this morning. Hello, Justice. First of all, pleasant good morning to our dear Executive Secretary. I hope the President's doing well. I'm very strong. I know wala na yung COVID. Sabi nga nila, if you don't test, you have no COVID. But siguro nag-test si Presidente kaya may COVID siya. But please give him our best wishes to the President. Of course, to my dear friend and brother, Speaker Martin Romualdez, sir, we have a lot of local bills to tackle today. Don't worry, we're passing your local bills. To our Chief Justice, Chief Justice Alexander Esmundo, sir, thank you for inviting me here today. And of course, We had is Justice Secretary still with us, Justice Secretary Remulla, who's represented, by the way, by their Undersecretary Raul Vasquez, to the DILG Secretary, Secretary Benjamin Abalos, represented by Undersecretary Juan Victor Llamas, to His Excellency Luke Veron, Ambassador to the EU, the Philippines, to Her Excellency HKAU, Ambassador Yu, who's a dear friend of mine as well, Head of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Danielle Marchesi, to all the Supreme Court justices that are here today. There's so many of you, ma'am, sir. Good morning po. Good morning. To all the justices of the other branches of government. I was picked earlier, met Justice Musni of Sandigan Bayan. And to all the stakeholders, magandang umaga po. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's a great day, and it's a beautiful day outside. And it's first of all, I'm very happy to be invited to today's event. To all of you, I think this move of the Supreme Court Chief Justice and the Supreme Court to decongest our jail system, I think, is one that, of course, needs our congratulations. It's something that we need to be doing from the very beginning. We should, and I think at the start of this administration, we still have 4.5 years left. With the support of the Speaker, myself, and all the other agencies of government, I think we can move forward and really do something that previous administrations have failed to do. That's why it's an honor for me to be part of this National Jail Decongestion Summit and to address one of the most pressing concerns in our ongoing work of creating a just world for every Filipino. This summit is an important step in recognizing a basic but often overlooked truth that fundamental human rights apply to every Filipino, including our PDLs, no matter the crime, no matter the sentence. It is dangerously easy to demonize our PDLs and reduce them to second-class citizens. Of course, having done wrong and caused harm, they deserve commensurate punishment. But for all their offenses, they are still human beings. Still someone's parent, partner, sibling, and child. They still deserve an opportunity for growth and for change. And so, the right to humane living conditions must not be dismissed once a person is sent to our correctional facilities. If any
Honorable Lucas P. Bersamin.
Thank you. I take it that you rose because you expected the President to be around. Thank you for that. I will relay it to him. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri, Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, Chief Justice of the Philippines, Alexander Gesmondo. You do not belong only to the Supreme Court. DILG Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr., who is represented here, Department of Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla, who is also represented today, Your Excellency Luke Veron, Your Excellency HKU, Mr. Danielle Marchesi of the UNODC, the Chairperson of the Special Committee, Justice Maria Filomena Monet Singh, my colleagues in the former colleagues in the Supreme Court, no? You are all here, except for more. You are less. Yes, all the members of the all of the principals, no? Are here. The principals are the three, and then you are also all present here to join this massive effort of decongestion and reintegration. A pleasant morning to everyone. We gather here today for a momentous occasion, the National Jail Decongestion Summit, organized by the Justice Sector Coordinating Council. This is not yet the President speaking. Regrettably, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is unable to be with us today. In his absence, it is my honor as the Executive Secretary to deliver the President's address before this august body, outlining our shared commitment to addressing the challenges within our justice system. May I now read the speech. A good day to all. I welcome everyone as you convene for this National Jail Decongestion Summit organized by the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, or JSCC. I would like to recognize the members of the JSCC for their efforts in spearheading this important gathering. This event is in line with our administration's priority to decongest our jails and prison facilities and to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of our justice system. This gathering is most welcome as it demonstrates the commitment of the entire government to expedite the processing of criminal cases and to alleviate the chronic problem of jail congestion. Indeed, it would require a whole-of-government approach to ensure the efficient, effective, and compassionate administration of justice in the country. I am therefore confident that the discussions in this summit will pave the way for better policies and initiatives that will address the root causes of our problems. I urge the JSCC to pursue the streamlining and digitalization of your frontline and back-end services. By embracing technology and innovative practices, we can enhance our efficiency, reduce delays, and ensure swift and fair legal proceedings. As we delve deeper into the various plenary sessions and workshops, I also urge the participants to actively share insights, experiences, and best practices. Let us learn from the successes and best practices of other countries, where innovative solutions have been implemented to address challenges in the justice system. In our pursuit of a bagong Pilipinas, where communities and government institutions have respect for the law and human rights, it is vital that we work together to come up with measures to decongest our jails and improve the conditions of persons deprived of liberty. Rest assured, this administration remains steadfast in its commitment to support collaborative efforts between the executive and the judiciary. Through our collaborative efforts, we can ensure that justice is not delayed and denied, and that the rights and dignity of every individual are upheld and protected. Together, let us build a society where justice is swift, fairness is paramount, and compassion prevails. I wish you a successful gathering. Those are the words of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. I call on everyone to unite and work together, not only to realize the goals of this summit, but also to pursue the bagong Pilipinas we envision for our people. As the Executive Secretary, and being also a former Chief Justice, I likewise assure you of my support in your endeavors. I look forward to the positive changes that we will create together today and tomorrow. Thank you, and may you have a meaningful and impactful discussion ahead.
Mokadto si Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin alang sa iyahang pagpamulong atol na sa National Decongestion Summit dito sa kauluhan ni representar si Executive Secretary Bersamin ni Presidente Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. Ang maong summit dunay temang Decongest and Reintegrate, a conference to unlock solutions to jail and prison overcrowding. Dito kini sa kauluhan pahigayon panguluhan ng maong kalihukan sa Justice Sector Coordinating Council nga naglangkob sa Supreme Court, Department of Justice, Department of the Interior and Local Government. Ang duha ni siya ka-summit nga gibuksan karong adlaw. Ug tungod niya na napupos natong panag-uban, musunod na ang atong mga balita. Mao kini ang Government Online. Salamat, maayong buntag.
Serving the Republic of the Philippines for more than 75 years. Ito po ang Presidential Broadcast Service.